Side by side on the first lap. It's the two Falcons in front. The Fords are at it again. They finished this way last year. They want to start this way again. And it's Moffat and Bond side by side as they go spearing up Mountain Straight. But now they're taking nose-to-tail formation. Derek Bell slightly tripped the start. Got a very good run at it. Bobby Morris, though, is in third place. Dick Johnson going exceptionally well.
Was slow off the start and was beaten by about 4 other cars into the corner.
Colin Bond leads from Alan Moffat, who's out there on his left. Bobby Morris is behind him. Johnson has made a great start.
Peter Brock behind him.
Alan Grice, who led at the start of the first lap last time, it is Colin Bond. And wait for the roar of the crowd as they see the Fords in front. There are partners from Moffat divided fairly evenly to hold of the Falcon teams. And the Falcon supporters will go mad when they see Bond leading Alan Moffat.
They come through the top part of the mountain and just wait for the roar as the roaring Fords run 1-2 in the opening lap of the 1978 Hardie Ferodo. Here they come into view now, and the crowd going wild with excitement as they steam past and now down towards the S's. Peter Brock missing the start and back into about 4th place in the field, and he's really going to have to stand on it to catch up with them down Conrod Straight for the first time.
Right on Dick Johnson's tail is Bond, who leads though as he goes down for the first time through the S's. Bob Morris shows all signs of running to lead. There's Alan Grice here just in front of Derek Bell. Jack Brabham well placed there. He'd be happy with that sort of position, running in about 8th position and delighted with it, I would think. Pete Gagan goes through, just tailing off that leading group.
Through the haze down towards the end of Conrod Straight. No, it's not a repeat of last year's race. It's the start of the 78 race with Colin Bond and Alan Moffat and Bob Morris standing on the gas as he comes down the inside. And Moffat tries to poke down on the inside of Colin Bond, but Morris has won the jump. Wait for the crowd reaction. Into the left hand and now back onto pit straight. The Ford side by side. Morris sideways, but he leads. The first lap completed. And he's taken the first lap prize, but Bond at the inside of him. And Brock has now moved up on the inside, and we're running 1, 2, 3, 4. Have we got a race going here, folks? On the outside through the turn, and Morris has thwarted a bit there and watching the side of the door, and leads once again, but he's got Fords all around him.
Sensational stuff, and I don't know how Morris controlled it. He was hit, put sideways, got it back under control, and this is desperate stuff with 162 laps still to go.
Appropriate number, appropriate telecast. Driving the ASL Ron Hodson finance car, and he currently leads the Ford Challenge. Peter Brock in 2nd place, then the 2 Fords, Alan Moffat, and then Colin Bond. The leader in the 3-litre class at this stage is Don Holland. And down through the top part of the mountain, as you can see, the haze still exists here. And but fortunately, I would think in another half hour or so, we might be down to perfect vision. It doesn't seem to be that way halfway down Conrod Straight at the moment.
There's Brock pulling out as he's spearing down the straight. The radar trap showed the fastest car first time through was Pete Gagan.
The radar Folly Alpha was also on the pits. Patrick Mee were there.
Okay, here we have the race lead change with Peter Brock, Australian Touring Car Champion, taking over the front running. Bob Morris is back in 2nd, and tailgating is Alan Moffat in car number 1. And this is the part of the course where the long legs of the Falcon will really show out. He'll sit in behind Peter Brock, draft, then jump out of the slipstream and try and race him down to the bottom corner. Well, here he goes. Wait for the arrival of Alan Moffat on the inside.
He has to take him because Brock is going to be held up by the slower car on the right-hand side. You'll find that Brock is pulled over to the left behind Moffat. We'll have a new race leader, but can Brock outbrake him? You see now pulling to the right. Brock is going to make another go, and whether he can leave his braking late enough, whether he's prepared to, I don't think so. He'll be having to stay there, maybe close up a little bit on the brakes. So it's Alan Moffat who, for the first time, leads the race. Oh, Bobby Morris has had a praying. He's been hit, and he's gone into that. Is it Morris or Bell? It's one of the Ron Hodson cars. It may be Derek Bell getting out. Looks like 27. Bell it is.
They've done some damage.
Well, it looked, we just caught the tail end of that. It looked like it had a push, and it had been put out. You can certainly see what had happened to him, and that's a car that's not going to go any further. And it'll be a very disappointed Derek Bell who takes off his helmet and balaclava, and he will not be happy with the circumstances which put him out of the race and mean that the European Touring Car Champion, Dina Cuesta of Austria, doesn't even get a start. Reliability is what Alan Moffat hoped he's going to get, but he must be worried with the gearbox problems that have already sidelined Colin Bond and have brought other cars into the pits. As Kerry Luckett was saying, just the first maybe hint of gearbox trouble when he had the car locked in reverse in the pits.
Oh, and John Harvey is waving his hand at Moffat, telling him to move over and give him a fair run. But Moffat had problems with another slower car. Harvey didn't leave any space there between the back guard. Here they come up the mountain now. Harvey is getting slightly agitated. He wants to go and run.
He wants to go by now. It's not the way to go, but Harvey's indicating that he's getting a bit anxious. He doesn't want to be held up. Coming up over the top towards Phillips curve, and there are the two of them from the helicopter. You can see how close they are, and the difference in size. Emphasised a little bit by the way they're painted, but the Falcon looks such a big car. But the smaller Tirana nibbling away, and this is Harvey closing up ever so slightly, coming through, absolutely relying on Moffat to do the right thing when he's as close as that going to these blind bends. Sweeping along the top of the mountain, you can see the crowd up there who persevered through a cold and foggy morning. Now bright sunshine here at Mount Panorama, and down over Skyline they go. And this is the part that tests the bravery of the fast men. They've got a slow car in front, slow by comparison, and that's going to make things hard for both of them. The driver does the right thing, and both Moffat and Harvey slip by. Another car to pass, which they'll just about get as they come through Forest Silver. Now we'll see who's got the long legs. Harvey, of course, in the box seat, because he'll be sucked along in the wake of the air turbulence created by the big Falcon. He'll try now braking. He'll go to one side. There he goes. And Harvey making a passing move now, and it's flat chat down the long straight.
Yes, well, Moffat has used the overlapping technique to his advantage for the last couple of laps. Very, very talented. Oh, and Harvey decides he's going for broke. The inside will do. Wait for this. This puts Harvey wisely elected to just ease off the throttle, and
he's
now
taking him up the mountain. What the devil's going on there?
He's had some extraordinary sort of bump there. He's been hit in the back, and it has deflected or changed the shape of the boot. And they can't open the bonnet to get the fuel in. Now, here's the man leading the index, and they can't refuel the car. His co-driver, Mike Quinn, who's been earning money in England as a garbage driver, is right in his element now. He says, I can handle any sort of junk, and this looks like the junk the way you are handling this thing. Talking of coming to a stop. Yes, Wilmington in car 29, as Gary Wilmington has gone off. I don't know, he's bogged, of course. He's got slicks on, and he's gone straight ahead into the fence. That's at Hill Corner. It'd be nice to find out from Alan Moffat whether he has any transmission problems or not. He must be worried about it.
The fuel part of the system is taking far longer than the rest of the changes. They've changed the tyres. But with this mandatory type of fueling system, that certainly takes a lot longer than the rest of the pit stop.
Oh, he's really hot, isn't he?
He's got a nice towel, as you can see, on his head.
Still going back to tell Licks more things about the car and what should be done. And I would think perhaps even pleading with one of the truly great drivers in the world today to perhaps spare the car a little.
Yes, Kerry, there seems to be the impression in the camp that Ix is a little bit hard on the Falcon, that he's more used to cars like racing Porsches, which don't need quite the same loving care.
Oh, the car's on fire.
Oh, look at Alan Moffat.
The car's on fire. Alan trying to put the fire out himself with the towel that he was using earlier.
Jack Rosenthal. Jack, very serious about his motor racing. I happened to go out to Oran Park the day after the Rothmans 500, which he'd run, expecting to find the place deserted. There was one car there, one driver and one crew, the Bradham outfit, and he was trying different spring rates, and he's been trying and testing and getting ready for this race. He does have fun, but he's very serious about his enjoyment.
Here's Alan Grice, who has quite a good finishing record this year in the long-distance races. Perhaps he's curbed that great desire he had to use up all of the track, including marbles, a bit of a sand trap,
other people's door handles.
Glad you said that, no, I didn't. But Gracie's shown a whole new approach to this particular race. I think he has matured tremendously during this year, and we hope it continues.
He's very capable, Mike, he really is, and he puts a lot into it. He puts a lot of his personal time into it. He's a full-time racer, and he's one of the fellows that you can know is always going to be hard to beat.
1 lap to go. What a great driving performance it's been by Peter Brock. A faultless driving performance.
He'll be listening to every little rattle in that Toronto that there might be, if there is one on it, and he won't breathe a sigh of relief until the checkered flag comes down. But certainly a tremendous
straight goes Peter Brock for the last time.
They say when you're hot, and when you're not, you're not. And when it comes to all that ability and all that technical development, and that third and most important ingredient, that little bit of luck, when it all shines nicely for you, you have a big win. And facing the biggest win of his career in terms of money is Peter Brock, lead driver for the Marlborough Holden dealer team. Car number 05, the number that he has carried throughout the season. The number that he sat last year in pole position here at Bathurst, sat again here this year, of course, and now is in good shape with the teammate, John Harvey, who will finish well down. He is not in second place, as perhaps the final formation will indicate. The fans, fickle in some cases and loyal in others, stand and salute the man who's going to go on and win the Hardie Ferodo 1000 over the top of the mountain. There'll be no slip-ups here. Peter Brock through the top part of the section, acknowledging the cheers from the fans on the mountain.
With a lap lead on the second place getter, the great mile Toronto of Alan Bryce, and 3 laps on the third place getter, Ryan Wood, Falcon of Murray Cup.
Everything's in good shape through the final left-hander, the open spaces of Conrod Straight. And Peter Brock is headed for victory, the checkered flag for the 1978 Hardie Ferodo 1000. Not worrying about terminal speed, how far he can get through the radar trap and what speed that he'll achieve in this last lap. This is as an important lap as the lap he cut in qualifying. The last corner comes up, the checkered flag unfolds for the 1978 champion, Peter Brock.
After 163 laps, Peter Brock, winner of the great race.